What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these past, couple, maybe even a few months have been just absurd for the gaming community, especially Call of Duty fans. Call of Duty fans have been hit pretty hard when it comes to their favorite franchise. And it's been kind of rough finding different games that are pretty enjoyable, but, with games like Power World and Helldivers 2 dropping, there's been a decent amount of variety out there for us to have a good time. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you guys something. JbowenDaMan is back, baby. Now, he did go ahead and post something the other day. I'll post it right here for you guys. It was just, a little screenshot of this, barn right here. I don't know. There might be something you can get out of it, but I couldn't really think of anything, so I didn't even bother making a video because I didn't know what to talk about with it, So I was just going to wait until, maybe some more information came out, some more news, so we can actually have something to go ahead and discuss and have some details on what he's going ahead and working on. And shortly after, the details have been released, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see right here from Charlie Intel, former Treyarch developer David Vonderhaar has joined NetEase Games and formed a new studio, Bullet Farm. The studio is working on a AAA co-op game in Unreal Engine 5. As you guys can see right here, this is going to be, their logo here. Not bad. It's kind of makes me laugh a little bit. I gotta be honest, because David Vaughn, with all the Desert Dave themes and all those memes and everything like that, it kind of fits him perfectly, doesn't it? It's almost like he came up with this name by himself. I wouldn't push it past him. But honestly, at the end of the day, this is huge news because we finally have Vaughn coming out here and producing something of his own creative vision. He's been held back year after year after year. I mean, even with their campaign vision for Black Ops 4, that got completely destroyed because Activision opted into a battle royale. He's always been held back from being able to do what he truly wants to do, even though, he was the mastermind behind Blackout as well. But did he really want to do it? That's the question. He had a whole campaign planned out. Did he want to do Blackout, or was he just good at making a battle royale that's good for Call of Duty fans? You know what I'm saying? He's good at his job. He's good at what he does. But is he enjoying himself? And personally, I don't think he was. I feel like Activision was holding that man back tremendously. And now he finally has a shot to go ahead and form his own game, form his own creation, something that I feel like a lot of people are going to go ahead and enjoy. A little bit more into the details here. You can see NetEase Games is excited to announce the establishment of a new remote-first AAA game studio headquarters in Los Angeles, California, called Bullet Farm. The studio is the latest addition to NetEase Games' portfolio and is led by David Vonderhaar, an award-winning, experienced industry veteran, best known for his leadership on the global hit franchise Call of Duty, notably the critically acclaimed Call of Duty Black Ops series. Bullet Farm is currently developing a new and ambitious AAA game built in Unreal Engine 5 and set in an original universe with an emphasis on co-op gameplay. The game will craft a more intimate and relatable experience while offering a fresh take on first-person gameplay. Bullet Farm has a remote-first approach with the main studio headquarters in Los Angeles. Joining Vonderhaar as the studio creative director is a veteran game designer, Chris Cowell, my bad if I mispronounced that. Bullet Farm currently has several key roles open and is actively seeking top talent to join the founding team. And the last one here, starting this new studio, has given me a chance to step out of my comfort zone and try my hand at making something entirely new and different. This is a departure from the games I've worked on, but one that showcases my passion for rich characters, precise mechanics, more intimate storytelling, and plenty of action, said David Vonderhaar, studio head at Bullet Farm. I just love that form right now, man. I love that form. NetEase has provided us an incredible support structure to explore these new avenues and allow true freedom to begin building the concept and ideas for our game. NetEase Games is fully dedicated to giving Bullet Farm the resources and support required to build this new first-person experience, said Simon Zhu, president of Global Investment and Partnerships at NetEase Games. David's leadership and the early collection of game development talent assembled at the studio is set to offer something truly unique for his existing fans, along with a new audience. So that's another crucial key component right there. They know that he's going to be bringing, Call of Duty fans with him. I know a lot of people right now are a little worried about it being a co-op game. It's not going to be, something like Call of Duty per se. And also David Vaughn went and said that this is going to be something completely out of his comfort zone, which again, I'm really happy for him because he's been in the Call of Duty cycle for so long now. It's about time that this man has a little bit more freedom to spread his wings and just, like I said, be creative with what he wants to do. but they know that he's going to be bringing Call of Duty fans along with him. So even though it's going to be a new experience, I feel like something down to the core, whether it's gameplay mechanics, how the game feels, flows, I don't know what it's going to be. But, I feel like Call of Duty fans are definitely going to be a target audience. They're not going to just shift them aside. This isn't going to be a game that they're just going to simply push out for a completely brand new audience, which they want to do. But I feel like they're also going to try to tap into the Call of Duty marketplace at the same exact time. And also, for those out there saying this can't compete with COD, this isn't going to do anything to Call of Duty, it's a co-op game. Co-op games can't compete with COD. I beg to differ. Guys, got to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to the titles that we're playing here. I feel like people are so stuck in their way when it comes to playing Call of Duty, and I don't blame you guys. It's a really fun, experience, and it's a reason people get hooked to COD, even though obviously it's been becoming a lot more different current date, but it's a reason why it was so popular back in the day. But there are still so many games out there, so much variety, so many enjoyable experiences that don't have to nickel and dime you out of every last, pen you got in your pocket. They're not going to try to scheme you and rob you. There's so many games out there that say, okay, pay us the entry fee and you're going to have the best experience of your life. Endless amounts of content, endless amounts of things to do. You're going to go ahead and have a blast. If the game doesn't play like Call of Duty, they won't even bat an eye at it. And they miss so much potential. David Vaughn might create one of the best games here that we could possibly ever imagine. It could be tons of fun. And people won't even bother looking at it because it's not like Call of Duty. It's not a 6v6, arcade shooter. Guys, don't completely shrug it off because it's co-op. Give it a chance. And again, we'll see what is, coming. And keep in mind, this game isn't dropping anytime soon. Whatever they're creating is going to take a long time to go ahead and put together, right? Basically, all of this stuff that's coming out right now, all of this information is just to try to get people a little bit hype and get people to come and, be employees, people who want to actually work for the studio. So they're trying to, recruit people. So expect a decent wait for this game, but don't shrug it off because it's co-op. Look at Helldivers, for example. That game is blowing up. It's strictly PvE. There's no PvP. Well, you can still team kill and stuff like that. But the whole goal is a PvE style game. And it absolutely blew up. People are obsessed with it. People are in love with the game. It's a great concept. They're continuously adding to it. The battle passes are practically free. You don't even have to spend an extra penny in this game. You buy the game and everything else is given to you. And it's proof of concept that you don't have to buy these full-fledged out AAA products to get a good experience anymore. You don't have to have a Call of Duty clone either to have a good experience. And you know what? We don't need any more games that are like Call of Duty. We really do not. X-Defiant coming out, that's amazing. That's great and all. But I don't think that we need clone after clone after clone after clone releasing of these FPS titles. We need more creative ideas being sparked up in the gaming industry, right? Call of Duty is Call of Duty, but I feel like people are getting tired of the sweat and the competitive nature of the players nowadays. And it really just simply comes down to how the players play nowadays. Seriously, even with skill-based matchmaking removed in X-Defiant, people are still b-hopping everywhere, sliding around everywhere, hyper-competitive. Again, I don't mind a little competition. It doesn't really bug me that much. But from what I notice, people don't want that, They want a casual experience. And honestly, I don't think these FPS games are going to get any better in the future. They simply are not. So I think that we should take these new concepts, these new ideas, and, not be excited for them, but not shove them aside because they don't replicate and, exactly what Call of Duty is all about. Once again, I really do believe that's why Helldivers 2 popped off so well, because it didn't really, again, replicate anything that's already out there. Yeah, it's Helldivers, people know, but at the end of the day, it's unique in its own way, and it's not hyper-competitive. And the competitive nature doesn't come from, versing one another. It comes as, you want to beat the opponents, and you want to, work as a squad, as a unit with everybody. Every single person who plays that game is practically basically, on your team. You want to work as a unit to proceed, and it's just not as sweaty. And I think people are wanting that style of gameplay. I have a feeling as the years go by, multiplayer is going to die slowly. more and more and more. Not completely. It's not going to die overall because people still enjoy, FPS games, but I think people are going to slowly start going to PvE games, co-op games, single-player games, because it's just way more relaxing, and nobody's trying to deal with this competitive nature of gaming nowadays. People hop on the game to relax. They don't want to have to deal with everybody who's trying to, win $5,000 out of every single match they play. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And last but not least, we do go ahead and stream over on Kick pretty much daily as well, besides Sundays. You can find a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.